Hello all and welcome back to the channel. This is Ketul Patel, and in this video we are going to see that how we can create a session manager in Android application in Android Studio. So let's start the tutorial without wasting time. So here I am in Android Studio. So in previous video we have created a login page, and for now we are going to keep the session for that. So in the main activity we are going to check that if the user is not logged in, then he needs to log in. So first of all, uh, go to your Android manifest file, and as we have a login activity as our startup activity, so we will change it to main activity, and here we will do login activity. So now we will remove the startup activity from the means we will so now you can see that our main activity is our launcher activity, and we have just defined our activities, that is register activity and login activity. So now first let's run the project and see which page is running. So as you can see that our main activity is shown over here, so it is blank page. Now let's stop this and write our code for session first. So for that, go to Java, and here create a new package. So name it as session. So in this session package, we will create a Java class. So name that as session manager. Click OK. So you can see that a session manager class is created. Now first we will add our shared preference. So write shared preference, and now we will create the editor for the shared preference. So shared preference dot editor, and create a key for that. So it's editor. Now we will create a context variable. So context is a underscore context. Now we will assign the mode to our shared preference. So int private underscore mode. So we'll keep it 0. Then we will assign a name to our shared preference. So private static final string score name is equal to write Android view preference. Now after this we will assign the key to all shared preferences. So we will check that if is logged in or not. So private static final string is login, and we will assign is logged in. Now we will create two string variables, that is our email address and the password. So first one will be public static final string, so that will be key underscore email, and assigned into it. Then another will be public static final string, that will be key underscore password. So we will assign password as a string. Now our variables are almost created. Now we will create a constructor. So public session manager, and we will pass context to it. Now this dot our context variable is equal to pass the context from the constructor. So preference is equal to underscore context dot get shared preference, and we will pass preference name and our mode to it. Now editor is equal to reference pref.edit. So our constructor is created. Now we will create a login session. So this function will create a login session for our application. So that will be public void create login session, and pass string email and string password to that. So first we will store the login value in the boolean, that is true or false. So editor dot put boolean is login and comma pass true, because we are creating the session for our login. And we will now add our both of the keys, that is key underscore email and key underscore pass, to our editor. So editor dot put string, and here we will pass key email and comma email. And now same for the password. So editor dot put string and key underscore password comma password. So we will commit the changes to the editor. So editor dot commit and semicolon. And now after this we will create that we will check the login state. So like we will quickly check the login state for it. So we will get the login state. So for that, public boolean is logged in, and here we will check that here we will return our preference dot get boolean, and we will pass s underscore login and pass false. Now after this we are going to create our check login function. So like when user logs into our application, the application will check that if user is logged in, and then it will redirect him to the main activity. Otherwise, if the user is not logged in, then it will redirect it back to the login page. So for that, write public void check login, and here we'll write the condition if not this dot is logged in. So if the user is not logged in, we will redirect it to our so it, we will redirect it to our login activity. So for that, intent I is equal to new intent, and here we will pass our context variable and where we have to log in. So login activity dot class. Now we will close all the activities. So I dot add flags, and here we will pass intent dot flag underscore activity underscore clear top. So what this will do is, as user is not logged in, it will close all the activities that are running. So like if it may be your shopping cart activity or your registered activity, not registered activity, but your main activity and all. So now we will add a new flag to start our activities. So I dot set flags, and here we will pass intent dot flag underscore activity underscore new and task. So it will start a new task, and here we are going to start our login activity. So context dot start activity, and here we will pass our intent, that is I. So now this function will check whether user has logged in or not. Now after this we are going to store our two variables, that is our email address and password, to the session data. So for that we are going to use the hash function. So public hash map, and here we will pass two string, as we have two string variable, that is email address and the password. So pass two string to our hash map and get user details. So first we will create hash map string comma string, and user is equal to new hash map, and here again we will pass two strings and semicolon. Now we will put our data to the hash map. So user dot put, and first we will add our key email comma preference dot get string, and here again we will pass our key underscore email variable and comma null. So same for our password variable. So user put key underscore password and comma preference dot get string, and we will get our key underscore password comma null, and then we will simply return our user variable. So that is our hash map user variable. So return user. So after this we are going to create the logout function. So if user clicks on logout, our session data in our hash map will be cleared and our session manager will get cleared. So for that, let's create public void logout user, and in this function first we will clear our editor. So editor dot clear, that is simple. Then we will commit our editor. We will commit the changes which we made to editor, so that we have cleared our editor, and then we will make the changes. So after we log out from any part of the activity, the user should redirect to the login page. So for that, intent I is equal to new intent underscore context comma login activity dot class. So we will redirect the user to the login activity, and first of all here also we will close our all activity. So I dot add flags, intent dot flag underscore activity underscore clear top. So we will close all our activity again, and again we will create a new task activities of I dot add flags intent dot flag activity dot new task, and again we will redirect to the main activity. So context dot start activity and pass our intent variable, that is I. So this is the logout function. So when user will create, we will clear our editor, commit change to the editor, create intent to redirect to the login activity, clear all the activity, run a new task, and start the activity. So our login session manager is created. Now what we will do is we will go to our main activity, and in onCreate method, so first of all we will create a session manager variable. So you can see that it is importing session.session-manager, and here first of all we are going to check. So in our onCreate method we will do is session manager is equal to new session manager, and we will get the application context and session manager dot check login function. So in main activity we will write check login. So in all your application you have to pass check login to check whether the user is logged in or not. So this will call our check login function over here in the session manager. So this is for the main activity. So first let's run and see that if, as our main activity is the launcher activity, so as we will run the application, it should redirect to the main activity, and then it will check whether the user is logged in or not. If user will not logged in, it will pass it to it will redirect our application to login activity. So you can see that it is not redirecting us to our main activity, but it is redirecting to the login activity. So because we have not logged in, so now go to our login activity that we have created, and here we will see that in this part we are getting the success message, because here it will check the whether the user has entered the correct password or not, and in result set. So this whole login page I have explained in the previous video. The link is in description. You can go and check that if you have not checked this. So here what we will do is, first of all, here also we will create a session manager variable. So session manager and session manager. So here first of all we will create two variables. So that will be email string email is equal to email login dot get text dot toString, and string password is equal to password login dot get text dot toString. And in our success part, so that is in our this part before redirecting to the main activity. So here we will write session manager dot create login session and pass email comma password variable. So we have passed our toString over here. So it will create a login session with the user's credential and stored in our hash map that we have created. And in our onCreate we have to write session manager dot session manager is equal to new session manager, and here we have to pass get application context. And now we will so and we'll click on login. So it is redirecting to the main activity. Now let's rerun the application and check whether it is redirecting to the login activity or the main activity. So as you can see that it is redirecting to our main activity, not to our login activity. So this was how you can create the session manager in Android Studio and create the session. So if you have doubt in any of the part, you can just comment down below, and if you want this code you can just check out. I will link in description. If you like the video, press like button, subscribe to the channel and stay connected for more of the videos. Thank you for watching.